I hear the ACLU has criticized me. I wear that criticism like a badge of honor. Ronald Reagan. That quote was from Swimming Against the Tide of Opinion. Doesn't matter who you are or what you've done. Every single person in this world has had problems with their self-esteem at some point in their life. But 85% of people struggle with it every single day. And that statistic came from the Relationship with Yourself, psychologytoday.com. Personally, my struggles with self-esteem are all over the place. They vary quite a bit. In most instances, when I deal with it, the reasons why are out of my control. They come from, things that I have nothing to do with, which sounds dumb, but for some reason, it's always been that way for me. These outside factors contribute to my self-concept in a poor manner. So during this presentation, we're going to cover self-esteem, the contributions to poor self-esteem, the effects it has on self-concept, and methods to boosting your own self-esteem. And I've organized the presentation in this order. And now that we've gone over a brief description of the presentation, let's get started with the first main point. We focus heavily on the criticisms casted at us, and mostly the negative ones. When we focus on the negative aspect of criticism, we will fail to evolve. We cannot grow, and focusing only on the negatives will only hurt our self-esteem. Often these criticisms reflect how others feel about themselves. It comes from the critic's own self-esteem, and they project it outwards. Poor self-esteem is contagious, and it may not be evident, but it's true. So after discussing our hyperfixations on the negatives, let's talk a little bit about the effects on our self-esteem. Studies show that our self-esteem can fluctuate in relation to our approval from others. And that was from a peer-reviewed article, The Link Between Self-Esteem and the Social Relationships, meta-analysis of longitudinal studies. This is almost exclusively studied amongst significant other type relationships and romantic partners. It makes total sense that anxious attachment styles people suffer from poor self-esteem when they are deprived of approval from others or their partner. Friend groups are no stranger to this phenomenon. Many people in a friend group feel like they are intentionally singled out and ostracized. Everybody's felt left out at some point in their life. This in turn affects their self-esteem in a poor manner as well. After talking about the effects on self-esteem, let's get to the final point regarding methods to shift your self-esteem for a positive outcome. It is up to us alone to manage our self-esteem. It is our self-esteem, so it's our responsibility to maintain that. It takes hard work and overcoming your own barriers to shift our concept of ourselves. And some of these statistics came from self-esteem research, theory, and practice. We can take our criticisms and use them to our advantage. We can flip the script, and we can strengthen our self-esteem by not taking those criticisms at face value. We can process these on our own time and ultimately use them to better ourselves and reflect our self-esteem for a positive outcome. Other methods to utilize for a more positive self-esteem would be reminiscence-based therapy, doing things that you like to do. If you like going out for a walk or riding your bike or working out, and they make you feel better about yourself, then you should do those things. And getting up in the morning every day and saying nice things to yourself in the mirror, it wouldn't hurt either. Pat yourself on the back. These things are ways that we can boost our self-esteem every day. And now that we've discussed our final point, let us review what we have learned today. In review, we've covered self-esteem, the contributions to poor self-esteem, the effects it has on self-concept, and lastly, methods to boosting your own self-esteem. There are many ways to utilize the criticisms we receive every day, but it's up to us ultimately to decide how we think of ourselves. Thank you all for joining in and listening.